Alright, so here's our valve body separator plates all cleaned up and ready to go. The couple spots we have to drill, open up some orifices to help piston apply times. You'll see I've marked them with a black Sharpie in a couple of spots. These are all going to 93 thousandths. Drill bits are included with the kit. That one there is actually going to 82. That's the 1-2 accumulator, and it's not full, this isn't a full race trans, so I'm just going to go to 82 thousandths, which is recommended by Transgo. There's really only 5 holes I need to drill in this case, plus the 82,000. There's one up here that's already wider than 93, so that's fine, that can stay. And that's it. The only other fix on the valve body left to do is the 4th accumulator spring, which we'll do in a second. And there's a fix for the screen, or one of the screens. What happens at high RPM, sometimes a high flow, the screen will get sucked together inside. The membranes, the screen membranes will get pulled together. You see this one's actually dimpled in. And it'll suck together and cut off flow. So what we do is drill a couple holes in the end to add some extra flow in case those do get sucked together. And then there's a little spring that's included with the Transgo kit that slips down inside to keep those 2 screen membranes separated, so you can still have flow even at high flow rates. It's not sealing itself off. Well, give me a sec. I'm going to drill out this valve body. Notice I put a nice thick piece of cardboard underneath, so I'm not going into my workbench. And then of course it'll get all cleaned down again, and then we'll do the screen, and I'll touch back with you in a second. Alright, so here's our spacer plates all drilled. I went ahead and reinstalled the screens. This is the add-on spring. Oh, and you'll notice that I drilled a couple breather holes in the top just to allow some extra flow in case it gets pinched over. This is actually going to sit in here like that and be held in by the valve body. The little loop just keeps the screen from being sucked closed if it gets under too much pressure. So the last thing to do is to change the 4th accumulator. That's in the case right here. Notice the check bolt is still there. I haven't bothered to take it out. There's no reason to. If you were doing this in the car or truck, obviously you would need to glue it in there with some trans gel to keep them from falling out before you put the separator plate back on. So, but here we can just leave it sitting in the case. Take out the spring. That's going to be junk. If the shaft wants to come out, oh, we're lucky today. That's going to pop right out. See how cooperative the piston is. Now what's funny is when this goes back in, it's going to go in a different orientation according to Transgo. So we're going to take the piston out. We're going to take the new yellow spring that came with the Transgo kit and put that in there first. And the piston is going to go in upside down. Oop. That'll make life easier. If we get the pin in there first, it makes it a lot easier to get the piston back in. And I got a bunch of fluid in the hole. I'm just keeping pressure on the pin, and the pin is sliding down as it's pushing the trans fluid out of the pin bore. So now the pin's all the way down in the hole there, as you can see. And we'll put this guy back in. Seal is in nice shape, by the way. And that's it. We are down on sitting on top of the spring, and the check ball is still in there. So really, we are ready to go together. I'm not worried about this trans fluid. There's going to be enough in here when it's running anyway. I'm just making sure there isn't any debris left on any of the passages, anything that might interfere with the gasket sealing. Piece right there. I'm going to go ahead and plug the harness back through. Now you can leave this in the whole time. I took it out for just ease of making the video, but you can't get it in and out with the valve body installed, so you need to make sure you install that before you put the valve body on. So as far as the spacer plate gaskets go, of course, the Transgo kit comes with 2 brand new gaskets. You're going to look for the one that says VB, that's valve body. CA stands for case. So the case gasket goes on first. Nicey nice. And the separator plate will go on. I'll tell you, doing this one-handed is an adventure. Notice the CA shows through the opening in the separator plate. So notice again, confirmation, VB on the outside for valve body, plate ITC is the plate manufacturer, I believe, and then CA for the case side is where it should be. All the holes are lined up, everything looks good. Now what we can do is use the support plate that bolts down right here and the 1-2 accumulator to get the plate lined up and held down. Let me grab the support plate that's already been nice and cleaned. And these will keep the gaskets lined up and the separator plate lined up. Once you get them all aligned. So I'm going to run these guys down a little bit. My trusty Milwaukee gun. And again, I'm just confirming that the gaskets are lined up with the separator plate and the holes before I start tightening anything down. Just put a bolt in there to keep the plate lined up. Oh, now we're looking perfect. That one's okay. That's an oblonged hole, so that's fine. That's a locator in the gasket. It's a centering hole in the gasket. So get it nice and tight. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. And obviously, you can hear I'm not putting in any kind of torque on these. Just enough to clamp that gasket down and hold the separator plate and the gaskets in place. Take these guys back out. Now the 1-2 accumulator is going to be a little trickier because we've got the spring sticking up. So we've got to compress the spring to get this thing down. So basically what we're going to do is we'll set it down and get the bolts started, and then we can use the bolts to draw it down flush. You can push down on this spring, get a little bit of compression out of the spring too. It's not all that hard, this high, but once you start compressing that spring, it'll get quite a bit harder to push it down. I'm going to put the phone down for a second and get these started up. All right, so we got these are run down, not torqued yet, but tight. We've got the check balls all in place, a little bit of Transgel keeping them from rolling around, getting lost in case the separator plate gets bumped when we're putting the valve body on. Screen is in with the new spring spacer sticking out. That's going to get captured right in that hollow right there is where that filter ends up, where it backs up to. So those little tabs will just sit in that hollow and keep the spring from coming back out of that filter. And other than that, we are good to go. This little guy up and out of the way. If you don't know, you'll have to engage that with the manual valve as you're setting the valve body down. But that's actually like the first step. You'll tab that in, and then you can drop the valve body down and start putting bolts in. I'm going to go ahead and torque the separator plate, the support plate and the 1-2 accumulator, because I think the solenoids hang over the edge of the support plate. I usually torque that first just to get it down there, and then I'll run the valve body bolts down and then go back and retorque them. All right, unfortunately I don't have a tripod yet, so I can't really show you me putting this valve body on, but the bottom bolts are all torqued. Everything's ready to go. You'll notice the valve body bolts come in different lengths. You need to understand it. If you mix these up, you're going to get into serious trouble. So keep them organized. Transgo actually comes with a picture of the valve body, shows you what bolts go where. To help make life easier. They're all, like all of these bolts and valve body bolts are all at 8 foot-pounds or 96 inch-pounds. And basically they're pretty hard to screw up. They're in 4 different lengths. These two shorties with the deflector and the bolt go run on the edge here. The rest of the mid-length ones fill out the field. The 3 longest go on top of the switch, the pressure switch that mounts up over here, so they're going to end up over in the end. And then the 3 almost as long as those go right along here, 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 and here. Now once you get the valve body in, I may go through this again. All right, so everything's the forward accumulator and the support plate are torqued down. Obviously, you can kind of get to it, but it'll be difficult to torque them with the valve body in. So those are retorqued. Now it's time to put the valve body bolts in. They come in 4 different lengths. There's 2 super short, 9 medium length, 3 a little longer, and then 3 much longer. They're pretty easy to keep separated once you get used to it. The one with the deflector goes on the end. The other shorty right next to it. These 3, not quite as long as these, but the second longest ones go up here. The 3 super long ones go through the pressure switch. And then the 9 common length ones all fill in the field. All right, so valve body's down and torqued. Everything's on. I retorqued that end cover rather. Harness can go back on. These are pretty self-explanatory. Pretty hard to screw it up. TCC solenoid's got to drop down to this board. That's why we had to remove the solenoid that goes here to clear the TCC so we can get to it. That's that. That's you. These guys tuck underneath. These just slip down. And it slips down over the top there and then over there. Once the filter's in place, it'll hold this down as well. And there's 2 little tabs that engage under the switch body. I don't know if you noticed them. There you go. So they get engaged as well. Keep the harness from hanging down and putting any tension on the solenoids. Very careful. This is your open inlet to the pump where the filter is going to go in, so you might want to make sure nothing goes down there. Certainly if anything does, get it out of there. There it goes. And that's it. Well, we have the detent to go on there, but the spring-loaded roller that rolls on the detent to keep it engaged in gear and keep it from keep the manual valve from moving around. If you had any play in the cable or in the any of the connections, any of that, you wouldn't want that valve moving around. It's got to be precise. If it's in gear, it's got to stay in gear. The last thing you want it to do is start exposing two different valves to apply pressure. And that one I think is 18 foot-pounds. And that's all, folks. You'll put a filter in it, put the pan back on. I've got to measure the dipstick because this is getting a custom dipstick also, because obviously we can't have a giant truck dipstick and be sticking up through the hood practically. So we've got a nice stainless unit up there that's going to go in. I just need to measure the exposed length to make sure it's set. The new one is set for the right pan depth, and mark it for full and add lines, that kind of thing. But other than that, that's it for the shift kit. That's the whole shebang. Like I said, this is definitely doable in the vehicle. It's not mandatory to pull the trans out for sure. I've done many of them in the vehicle, and it can be a bit of a juggling act, and I hate working on my back anyway, but it gets done, and it's not bad. In some cases it's easier. You don't have to worry about the check balls and the valve body rolling around. You can just set them down in their holes in the valve body itself, in their recesses, and when you load the valve body up, they'll go right where they should be. So yeah, definitely doable DIY. Make sure you check out the rest of my videos for anything else going on. I'm just opening business here in Florida. Relocated a few months ago, getting settled in. That's why I'm crammed into this tiny little garage here. I'm going to be going with a full shop soon. As things get up and running and get some clientele built up locally here, and then we'll be going full tilt boogie. I'm going to be doing late model Harley, Evo, twin cam, Milwaukee 8, and domestic muscle cars, retro mods, resto, repairs, that kind of thing. So tune in, like and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.